Hi, I'm Leslie, and I'm building out my camper van. After about 14 years and 200,000 miles, I decided to trade in my Toyota Tacoma. We took a lot of camping trips in that thing. We would load up the bed of the truck with all the camping gear, hit the road, and go hit some state parks, national parks, you name it. Any place we could pitch a tent, we were doing it. And, I just got tired of tent camping, right? Setting up the damn tent. The wind picks up in the middle of the night and the tent starts slapping you in the face, right? I mean, just all the stuff. So I decided, what's the next best logical step? Hard shell camping. Yes. So the decision to go for a minivan, or as I like to call it, an adventure van, it wasn't obvious right away. We did a lot of back and forth about what should we do? Should we keep the truck and get something else, put a shell on it? Should we tow a little teardrop camper? What's going to work best? And of course, I realized at some point, the fact is that once a truck gets that old and has that many miles on it, it's not going to be long for this world. So the best decision was to trade it in and get something else. Oh boy, it was a tough decision not to go for a cargo van. You just get this great empty shell. You can do whatever you want. The possibilities are endless, right? Yes. But that entails a lot more expense and a much bigger build out. And it's also much less like an everyday driver. And that's what I really needed, was something that was also going to double as an everyday driver. So hence the smaller version of a minivan. I never thought this was going to be the answer. But after watching about a zillion YouTube videos of all kinds of van builds, different designs, people's creative ideas about how they're putting together living spaces, I decided you really could do something cool in a minivan, an adventure van. You really can. It just takes, like anything else, right? Like anything else in life, it just takes some vision, a little creativity, and a lot of hard work. And power tools. Let's not forget power tools. So that's what's going on right now. I'm in the process of building this out. You see a little bit of the build out here right now, but I'm going to go over all the bits and pieces so you can see exactly what's been happening up to this point, how I did it, and what's planned moving forward, because I'm really knee deep in the middle of this build right now. Some things I have planned, some things I have no idea how the hell they're going to come together, but I know they are. So I'm going to find a way forward with some of those projects. A lot of it is just based on faith, a ton of measuring, and just taking action. So sometimes you just got to start drilling some stuff together and seeing what happens. There's a couple of things I want to mention about doing this. Okay, number one is you can drive yourself nuts watching every damn video on YouTube about people who have done van conversions of every different style and size and type, because there are as many individuals as there are. That's how many solutions there are to doing a van build. You can obviously, there's a market for, number one, just buying something that's already ready to go. Perfect. Roll right in, throw down your $130,000 and get in and go. Easy breezy. And Lord knows I thought about that solution. But it turns out it wasn't the right one for me. So what else can you do? Well, you can have somebody convert a van for you. You provide the van, they do the conversion. Also pricey. For me, I didn't like the idea that I would be hands off. In a way, I don't want to do all the work, but in a way I do. So that's the reason I decided not to have somebody else do a conversion for me. What other options are there? Well, you can buy these kits And you may have seen them. They're sort of like boxes that you just throw, and they're universal. So whatever you have, whatever van you're working with, you can throw in this series of boxes, and they're going to work for you because you have drawers, and you pull out your kitchen or storage, and they have a big platform, and you lay your bed down. And there you go. So easy, so quick. You can install it in a couple of hours, probably, and you're ready to go. For me, not custom enough. Right? I wanted something that was going to really speak to me. And it wasn't also an efficient use of space. I really want to respect the space in this van and use it to its best advantage. Now, that being said, the space is not working with me. And that's part of the challenge, is that in every vehicle, unless you get some kind of box truck, but even in a cargo van, there are curves, there are, round spaces, there are all kinds of, nothing's level, right? So everything is going to be a negotiation in space. And that's not easy, right? Even with a level, how do you know the ground you're working on is completely level? Believe me, I went through my garage, the garage of the house, to check out the level on it. Not entirely level. So who knows? You have all different stages of height in a van, in a minivan especially, and you just really don't know what you're working with. So a lot of it is just your best guess. Like I said, you start screwing stuff together and see what happens. So that's my advice if you're doing it this way, is a lot of measuring, a lot of design work, a lot of contemplation too, because sometimes you just want to sit here and look at the space and just imagine what could be built. And then at some point you just take action. So I eventually decided to go with a 2016 Honda Odyssey that had about 20,000 miles on it. Number one, I've had Hondas before. Love Hondas. Okay, I like the reliability of it. Also, number two, I did a lot of research as to what are the most reliable minivans out there, and it came down to a two-way tie between the Honda Odyssey and the Toyota Sienna. Now, the Sienna can sometimes come with all-wheel drive, which, believe me, I loved that idea. The Honda Odyssey does not. But when it came down to it, and I was shopping, and I was going around and around and around as to what all the options were for selling the truck and buying a van, and I was driving myself crazy, and I was not taking action. So what I decided to do was give myself a short window to make a decision. I looked at what was out there. I found a really good deal on this one, and I just decided to do it. I went with AutoNation, and you supply the information of the vehicle that you want to trade in, and they'll give you an offer. So I see this offer, I checked it against Kelley Blue Book value, and it was within $500. So instead of messing around and trying to sell it myself and getting an extra whatever $1,000, who cares? Move forward. That's what I did. I traded in the truck, got a good price on the van, low miles. I was looking for something with low mileage because I'm gonna drive this thing. I drive it every day. It's my regular driver, and I'm gonna drive the hell out of this on the road once all this gets done. Yes, I am. So that's where I am right now. I'll get further into all the details. So watch for the next video where I'll talk about the very first things that I did in getting this thing started. And then watch for the tour of what I've done so far and how it's all fitting together. Talk to you later. Thanks for stopping by.